Welcome to Leader Lifestyle Hub. As we have set the target of completing 200 book summaries in the entire year, here comes the book number 188. The name of the book that we have today is The Tipping Point, written by Malcolm Gladwell. Let us see the small target audience and the synopsis and top 3 lessons of this book. Target audience of this book is the 17-year-old blogger, the college student blogger who is desperately hoping for a viral hit. Anyone who is looking for a viral hit. And the 47-year-old hobby writer who writes lot of things with lots of connections, who wants to learn how to use them better, like in the copywriting. Anyone who has an idea worth spreading, for them this tipping point will helpful and helps in getting new ideas. Let us see the small synopsis. The tipping point explains how ideas spread like epidemics and which few elements need to come together to help an idea reach the point of critical mass. Small idea will be strike into your mind. That idea need to reach the world of mass world, where its viral effects becomes unstoppable. Let us listen from the Malcolm Gladwell himself. The key to good decision making is not knowledge. It is all understanding. We are swimming in the former. We are desperately lacking in the latter. That means we are swimming in the knowledge, but we are lacking in understanding. So the key to good decision making is lies in understanding, not in knowledge. Malcolm Gladwell is your friendly Canadian journalist next door. Much more than that, he has taken a massive interest in science over the years, and you might know him from a variety of his great talks, books, and ideas. I originally bumped into him through his first TED talk about spaghetti sauce. Similar to Barry Square's paradox of choice, Gladwell reveals interesting findings about happiness and choice and what are the how they are related or not. The Tipping Point is his first book and it was a massive hit, not least due to the value it created for business and marketers who now had the first sketch of a blueprint on how to promote their ideas better. After reading this book or book summary, you will get a few idea of how to sketch a blueprint on how to promote your idea. The tipping point was given to me by an American exchange student during my internship at BMW. She had finished it and wanted to pass it on. Gladwell's writing is gripping. He weaves stories and tales and hides baffling discoveries inside them. I remember distinctly sitting in my armchair at my parents' house, feeling completely awestruck at the fact that I needed just yawned 3 times, just because, as Gladwell predicted, I had read a section about yawning. That's the kind of power his writing holds. If suppose you are drowsy, when you read that book, it will come about the drowsiness. The summary will give you the nuts and bolts, but to witness Gladwell's magic writing firsthand, you have to get that book. Let us see the top three lessons from the book. Here are the 3 lessons from the book that will help you spread your own ideas. Once an idea reaches the tipping point, it spreads like fire in the forest. And let us see the second important lesson. The 3 kinds of people who are responsible for getting ideas to tip. There are 3 kinds of people who will be responsible to make ideas into the tip. And let us see the third one, most powerful lesson. Without stickiness, no idea will ever tip. Without stickiness, no idea will ever tip. Ready to infect the masses with your idea? Let's roll. Let's get started off each and every lesson. Let's deep dive into each and every lesson. Lesson number 1. An idea spreads like fire once it reaches the tipping point. Katniss said it pretty clearly. Fire is catching, fire is catching. so are your ideas. Your ideas are like fire which is catching the forest. But in order to spread like the fire among dry bushes, an idea first has to reach what Gladwell calls that tipping point. It's the point of critical mass where your idea goes from interesting to a few to must have for everyone. Let us take an example, Instagram. Take Instagram as an example. Yes, they had a lot of growth early on, but it was still steady growth. There was a definite moment, though, in February 2012 when all of a sudden the entire world seemed to need an account. So it was started in 2008 to 2010, but in 2012, all of a sudden, many people wanted to post the Instagram posts or reels. And it was the peak moment the world was fire was catching to the Instagram. It's in this exact moment that Instagram's users growth curve shoots up meteorically, and it became the fastest growing social network of all time. Don't think virality is limited to the internet, though. This phenomenon predates the web. In 1984, Sharp came out with the first affordable fax machine for people at home and sold a solid 80,000 units in the first year. It's not only viral means not only getting views or followers, it's all about how you reach the mass, how your idea reaches to the critical mass. So in this 1984 case, Sharp came out with a fax machine and he sold a fax machine for 80,000 units with the help of word of mouth or with the help of direct sales. Sales rose steadily, but in 1987 completely exploded. By 1990, over 5 million fax machines were in use in US homes. So from 1984 to 1990, within 6 years or 5 years, he made 5 million fax machines sale. That is called tipping point or viral. Do you know why? In 1997, the point was hit when finally enough people owned a fax, so it made sense of the for the rest of the world to get one too. You know, in India, we say that when someone is doing, other person will following. And the same way, in 1987, by seeing these 80,000 units, the other people followed them to purchase a fax machine from shop. So that is all about, that is why an idea spreads like fire once it reaches the tipping point. So that tipping point will come once you put efforts in the starting stage. Let us move on to the lesson number 2. There are 3 kinds of people who are responsible for getting ideas to tip. Why then do some ideas go big and beyond and others just never click? Pareto's law is once again at play here, where roughly 20% of the carriers cause 80% of the infections with an idea. Roughly 20% of the users or carriers cause 80% of the infections with an idea. Gladwell specifically points out 3 kinds of people that turn ideas into epidemics. What are the 3 kinds of people? Let us see. First category is connectors. Second one is salesmen. And the third one is mavens. Let us see what are these kind in detail. Connectors. They have a massive social network with many acquaintances and allows ideas to spread from one social group to the next. In fact, you can call them as your servants. They have lots of social network. They will grab your idea, use them, and then forward to another groups, which are nothing but connectors. Connect from you to others. Second category of the people is salesmen. The most about ideas they love, and their incredibly positive energy is contagious. Means the team that you hired or the team who spent more time on sales of your product or your idea. And the third one is Mavens. They hoard information in order to be a source of great tips to their network, the people of which they greatly influence with their advices. Mavens are like, you can call them as managers if you want. They hoard information, means whatever you are providing the information, a product or idea, they will hoard the information and gives the great tips to improve the service or idea, and it improves the networking as well. They greatly influence in their advice. Let us see three people. Connectors are nothing but who get your idea, consume, and connect to other people. Salesman is all about your team members who get ideas loud and share that ideas with the help of sales techniques. And the Mavens are the people who are like managers who consume your idea, and they will influence with your idea with the great advisors. If you want your idea to go viral, getting it in the hands of a few of these key players is crucial to hit critical mass. So if you want to hit that tipping point of Sharp or Instagram, you need to have these three type of people in your journey. But let us move on to the lesson number 3. If your idea is not sticky, it will never tip. It doesn't matter how many influencers you get to watch for your idea, or how many testimonials you can collect for the front page of your book or website. If your book is bad, it will never reach the masses. If your services are bad, it will never reach the masses. Gladwell calls this is the stickiness factor. The stickiness factor. Like if you take any sweet, there should be some stickiness factor. It answers the question, is your idea memorable enough to make people take action? Is your idea memorable enough to make people take action? So this makes you understand whether your idea has a stickiness factor or not. So remember that, is your idea making people taking action or not? The concept of stickiness was first put to a proper scientific test by the creators of the Sesame Street in the late 1960s. When testing the show by observing children watching it, they noticed children were quite selective about what they paid attention to. Let us take an example. Children are paying attention to the toys on the floor or the show on the TV. They will choose only one point to focus on. If suppose a kid is interested in playing game, the game only the focus. They focus on the toys only on the floor. If suppose they attracted to the TV or mobile, they get attached to that particular whatever device only, TV or device or mobile. So if you nowadays children are getting more addicted to TV and mobile rather than toys on the floor. They are getting quite selective towards that digital gadgets. However, that did not influence what they had. Remember, the quality of the content did. So if the quality of the content is not that much good, they will break down the toys, or they will change the channel, or they will change the videos also. The kids could only give a few select looks to a educational scene about how to spell the word cat, yet still remember the lesson. Only small minute of minutes they will focus on educational scenes, but even though they have seen few seconds, they remember the lessons. That means, unlike adults, children paid attention to TV in order to learn and understand, not to be entertained. As a result, The team engineered the entire show around children's attention, monitoring it meticulously, which ultimately led to the format the show is still in today. Humans interacting with fantasy creatures. The originally planned format to have puppet scenes separate from human scenes failed to grab children's attention and thus their minds. Even though this is the last lesson, it is really the first point. If your idea is not sticky, it will never tip. If you want something getting viral, you can't think about making something viral. Let me repeat this powerful statement. If you want something viral, you can't think about making something viral. You can't make something too viral. You need to have your idea, and that idea you can make it viral only if you follow the above things. Just make something so great, one person who sees it, it can't live without sharing it. Means your idea should be useful to at least one or two persons who can't live without it. Means you are making one person to get addicted to your idea. Then and only then should you start caring about the tipping point of getting viral. So let me repeat the three lessons again. Once an idea reaches the tipping point, it spreads like a fire in the forest. Three kinds of people are responsible for getting ideas into the viral market or critical mass. What are the three kinds we have seen? First type is connectors who consume your idea and connect to the entire world. Second one is a salesman who work for you and get more sales for your ideas. And the third one is mavens who are like managers who gives you great advices and influence your ideas. And the third important point is without stickiness, no idea will ever tip or no video can never viral without stickiness. Without your involvement, fully involved or sticking to the idea, there is no idea will ever get viral. And let me repeat the quotation again. The key to good decision making is not knowledge. It is all about understanding. So if you want to get good decision making or if you want to get the things get viral, it is not all about knowledge. It is all about how much you understand, how much you implement. That's all from my side. See you in another book summary another time. Until then, stay connected, keep progressing, and reach your idea with the help of these three types of people in your journey to get into the tipping point. Share your lessons in the comments below and see you again. Thank you so much. Stay connected.